Happy Tuesday. My buddy Mark Gellman joins us from the Gellman team. Hey, Mark.
Hey, buddy. How are you?
Good, pal. Probably the last 5 times we've had you on the show, we've talked about the crazy real estate market, and it just shows no sign of slowing down yet, right?
You know, you're exactly right, and it's interesting because a lot of people thought that inventory levels would open up, and we've been talking and saying, look, I think this is closer to the new norm than it has been. So 3 years ago, we were talking when the market was a little softer. We were saying, look, we believe prices will go up. We believe that you can hold off a little bit on selling. Buyers, now it's your opportunity. But totally different. We've been seeing this consistent. I mean, it's crazy to remember back we were talking with the unknown a year ago. I remember I was on the radio, and who would have thought that this is where we are today?
And, people in the buyer situation are probably thinking, well, I'm going to wait this out because I can probably get this house for 10 or 20% less in a year, but that may not be true. And if they buy now, they may be able to take advantage of selling it at a profit a couple, 3 years from now, if you're right about this.
Absolutely. And so we're hearing a lot from buyers, look, I don't want to overpay. I'm not willing to buy that home and right over asking or other. But that is the market. So I'm not to bring up, a competitive investment, but this crypto. 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, Bitcoin was 60. That was the market. Today, 35,000. That's the market. So the market today is for the houses is what they're going, even if they're going over asking. And so the thing about it is we don't believe this is going to soften. There's approximately 5 to 7 buyers for almost every house right now. And even if interest rates go up, which people are talking about, so that drops 1 or 2 out, it is still a supply and demand, and there's significantly more demand than supply. They're not building more homes in the heart of certain areas. There's infill homes, but they're not huge subdivisions. And so what's happening is, again, it's just a supply and demand, and we don't see this changing. And over the years, believe me, I've thought that things would change, and they did. But this is a case where I don't see it changing.
So, Mark, let's take it on directly that you've heard it. I've heard it. People will say, well, I'm going to sell it myself, or I'm going to go with one of these like budget rate places because how hard can it be to sell a house when you got 5 to 7 people trying to outbid each other? Tell everyone why it is still important to use you guys.
Sure. So at the end of the day, most sellers are really all they care about is the net. So it doesn't matter how much you pay for commission and other. It's can you net more? Can you have more in your pocket after the transaction under any one scenario? And we are seeing that we are netting more for those sellers that use a full-service realtor than a for-sale-by-owner. Don't get me wrong. You absolutely can put a sign in your yard and sell your home. Selling your home is not the challenge. It's actually navigating the waters. When you have one contract, does it appear that you have 10 contracts and you actually can get the price higher? Can you negotiate on inspections? Can you negotiate on appraisals and other? So it's not just simply getting a contract and because anybody could sell their home for sale by owner or get a contract, but it's actually what is it going to close at? What's the closing price? And are you going to net more? And we've actually seen a validatable that you will net more under a full service component. And so it's getting the widest buyers within, then when they are writing a contract, getting the best opportunity for your seller. Because at the end of the day, remember, my fiduciary duty is to our sellers. And under that scenario, my opportunity is how can I do the best for my seller? So absolutely, we're seeing that they're getting a return on investment.
Talking to Mark Gellman here at the Gellman team. So, you guys, you also represent buyers. What is the overall strategy for buyers? I mean, because it just feels, nuts to be out there looking for a home, competing with so many people, and homes just disappear the first hour they're on the market.
Right, and I'm going to be very transparent. I know that a lot of realtors wouldn't come on and say this, but at the end of the day, a home is not an investment. So if you want to buy an investment, you should buy a 2-family, you buy a 4-family. That market is incredibly strong. The home is where you're going to live, you're going to build memories, so on and so forth. So if you're a buyer, and we're representing, and by the way, we are winning a significant amount of these multiple offers for our buyers. We're actually an unfair advantage. So So we are actually doing great for our buyers that are committed to do what it takes in this market to buy. So again, you have to have the appetite if you're a buyer to buy in this market. It is by no means for everybody, but those that want to buy, that are relocating, that are moving within, that are upsizing, downsizing, whatever the scenario is, if they're committed to the process to do what it takes to buy a home, we will sell them that home and get the best possible terms for them. Now, are we negotiating 20% under asking? That's unrealistic in today's market. There's just not enough inventory. There's less than 2 weeks inventory. Going back to 2008, Dave, just for reference, 13 months of inventory. That means it would take 13 months if no new homes came on the market to sell through the entire inventory. Now, it would take less than 2 weeks to sell through the inventory if no new homes came on the market in the majority of the markets we serve.
Mark, I know that a year or so ago, the real expensive homes were kind of soft. Is there anything out there right now, any neighborhoods, any areas, any budget levels that are especially hot or especially soft?
Sure. And so when you're looking at, and we serve St. Louis County, St. Louis City, Northern Jefferson County, and St. Charles, when you're looking at those overall high-level counties, on average, there's less than a month of inventory in all of those markets. So when you're asking about the high end, for example, I mean, we are seeing more $3 million homes sell today than they did even a year ago. So that market's strong. Is there less competition? Absolutely. But we are still seeing those home prices sell. You know, the first-time home buyer is a great, I mean, it's hard to say, Dave, because everywhere we're seeing the first-time home buyer, we're seeing the mid-tier. The biggest problem we have with the market right now is there are great sellers out there that would have incredible homes to sell, but you know what the problem is? If they sold, they have nowhere to go.
Yeah.
So that's what's jamming up the entire market.
Makes sense. Any advice, anything, any questions I should have asked, but I didn't? Anything you want to get out to the people out there?
You know what? Again, I appreciate the opportunity. I appreciate all of your listeners. I mean, it has been fantastic. The relationship, we go back. I don't even know how many years we've been working together. But I can't just thank you enough. I can't thank your listeners enough. It's been a great run, and we're very excited. Look, if any of your listeners just want a home valuation, we're going to give you a transparent home valuation. We'll talk about preparation for sale. And look, your sellers ultimately are going to have to make a decision if they're prepared to sell. The last thing I tell you is you would be shocked at how many of your listeners are simply selling their homes, short-term rentals and other, because they want to monetize their homes today. So it is a great time if you don't have to be in that home and you want to sell. Big buyer demand right now.
If you guys want to talk to Mark, you can call 314-336-1991. I can vouch for the website. If you're looking for a home, forget Zillow and Realtor. The GellmanTeam.com is really, really user-friendly. Thank you, my friend. We'll talk to you soon.
Take care, buddy. We'll see. I think we're going out to lunch in a couple days, so I'll see you then.
All right, pal. See you on Thursday.
Take care. Bye-bye now.
Good dudes. Good guys. Yeah, it's crazy out there. It's nuts.
I know. You hear a story after story of people getting outbid, and it's just nuts.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.